in the postseason. One of them is Patrick Mahomes. We're about to critique him right now because yesterday the top-ranked defense went to Arrowhead, shut down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. With the loss, Kansas City dropped to below 500. They eliminated themselves from winning the AFC West for a 10th straight year. C.J. Stroud threw for over 200 yards and a touchdown, and Houston's defense did their job, forced Mahomes to throw 3 interceptions. So the Chiefs, continuing their playoff streak, is looking grim with only a 14% chance to make the postseason. The Chiefs' 10 straight seasons of reaching the playoffs is the longest active streak and the longest in NFL history behind the Patriots' 11-season streak. Is this Chiefs dynasty over? They did not look like themselves yesterday, Cam. What did you make of what you saw the Chiefs? Do you think the dynasty is coming to an end?
If it's not, it's surely in question. And as I was watching the game yesterday, there was a intensity that I really haven't seen in a lot of NFL games. That probably was the most physical game that I've probably seen all year. And that's what the Texans wanted it to be. The only reason why I question is the Chiefs dynasty over is because quarterbacks in the AFC are getting damn better. When you look around and you say the Patriots, Drake May, when you look at the Broncos with Bo Nix, when you look at the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, the Bills, obviously, the Chargers and the Texans with C.J. Stroud, quarterbacks around this division are going to make it extremely hard for the Chiefs, where Patrick Mahomes have been playing elite ever since he got the starting nod, for Kansas City. Guys around those teams are picking up their level of play, which in essence will now point the finger back at the Kansas City Chiefs to say, hey, are you guys going to keep staying ahead of the game? And that's going to be the biggest question to see if they're able to do that, inevitably bringing an end to that dynasty.
Yeah, of course the dynasty's over. We've watched this dynasty slowly start to become over for the last 2 years. And I say that not to jump on the I was first train. It sucks saying that. We've grown up over the last 8 years in this football world, and certainly in this industry with me, having Patrick at the forefront. To know that Patrick's probably not going to be in the playoffs. Also, the fact that Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson feel like they're not going to get in the playoffs, that stinks. And so this was a team that has gone to the playoffs 10 straight years. 10 straight years. That's the second longest streak in the history of the NFL, only behind New England, 2009 to 2019. It's certainly closer to that being over than not. And when I watch this team, Cam, Stephen A. Shea, feels like for 2 years, this team has lost a game or won a close game. They come on, post-game press conference to go self-inflicted wounds. They come on, post-game press conference to go self-inflicted wounds. We got to clean up the penalties. We got to make catches and stop dropping the football. That's been 2 years now. This team's got 21 drops. That's the third most in the NFL. They got 4 more drops last night. 3rd down drop, 4th down drop. And I'd also say this, 76% of their offense, 76% of their offense is accounted for by Patrick Mahomes. Wide margin, most in the NFL. Wide margin. Can't do more. And it feels like we're in this world now with Kansas City the same way we've been with Buffalo and Cincinnati and Baltimore. Are we asking the quarterback too much? We've asked that question about those teams. And this team right now going into next year is $31 million over the cap. Can they figure that out? Yes. Can they redo it? Yes. But this version of this unbelievable dynasty, yeah, that's over. Can they have another one? For sure. It's just going to look very different.
Well, I wouldn't say very different. I mean, the fact is you're going to get a new tight end because I think Travis Kelce is going to retire. And you got to shore up that offensive line. Outside of that, I mean, if it wasn't for those couple of things, where would we be? How would we be talking about the Chiefs? Let's take last night's game into consideration. He finished with a 19.8 passer rating, which was the worst of Patrick Mahomes' career, okay? Three interceptions, sacked twice. A couple of those interceptions weren't his fault. When you look at the offensive line right now, the lack of protection, I mean, not only did you have 3 guys down, okay, and Josh Simmons, Trey Smith, and Jawan Taylor, but this kid Morris goes down and has to get carted off the field, and then you end up with a 5th-string tackle. So look at what they're dealing with right now. They're decimated with the offensive line, and that's a big-time problem. You fix that, okay? You don't have these problems. You don't have most of these problems. And so I'm just looking at it from the standpoint, I'm going to sit up there and say, if you're talking about this specific version, sure. That needs to end. But Patrick Mahomes there with Rashee Rice, with Xavier Worthy, with Thornton there, I don't think you look at the Kansas City Chiefs and say, oh, my God, I mean, they got to totally retool. They just got to buffer up the offensive line, get guys healthy, and obviously their Hall of Fame, first ballot future surefire Hall of Fame tight end in Travis Kelce I mean, this is probably the end for him. I think we all knew that. I think we all knew he just came back because of the way they went out in the Super Bowl against
the offensive line, an issue, of course. But, like, the drops were a problem. The 3 turnovers by Mahomes was a problem. Third down is an issue, especially defensively. Like, I feel like I was expecting the offensive line to be the biggest of problems, and it felt to me like that actually was lower on the totem pole than everything else that happened yesterday.
You're 100% correct. This is a football team that has been bad on defense in the second half, bad on defense in third down. Offense is an issue. They're a lot over the cap. Like, this is not going to be just a fix.
Yeah, it's an issue, and it's something we're not accustomed to seeing. We always think they're going to have this fourth quarter magic, and they don't seem to have it. You know who did have a little bit of magic yesterday?
We thought we would try and illustrate it visually. D. Wood, how would you describe where the Chiefs are right now?
Greeny, stick a fork in the Kansas City Chiefs. They are done.
That, by the way, is an actual dinner fork from
this is actually my fork that I will absolutely take home. But this iteration of the dynasty is over, which has been an incredible run. But clearly, you know, this has been going on with the Kansas City Chiefs for the past 2 or 3 years, where they've been kind of teetering on. You know, they're not explosive enough. They make a play here or there, and it's finally caught up to the Kansas City Chiefs. We saw last night. You know, Patrick Mahomes didn't play well. There were multiple drops by receivers. Defensively, you could sense the desperation of the Chiefs last night in the way they were coming after C.J. Stroud. So I think the culmination of all that just leads to one heck of a run over with, and they need to retool.
What does it say about a team? Because you look back at all the games, because they're the Chiefs, we remember every single game they play. They could easily have won every game they lost this year, so one could look at it and say they're still this close, and yet when you lose all those games, they're far away.
That's not what good teams or great teams do. Like, good teams, and especially great teams, they put teams away. They don't find themselves in that situation, and the off chance, occasionally they find themselves in that situation, and that's when the special players overcome it. The tough thing is they had one very special player, a couple of them, but Patrick Mahomes, and he overcame so many, and that team overcame so many times, that defense year after year, that they stuck with this model when it kind of seemed like it had been done for a little while now.
For the first time ever, we will ask the Chiefs and Mahomes the same questions we've asked of the Bills and Allen, the Ravens and Lamar, and the Bengals and Joe Burrow. Are we asking Patrick to do too much? We've asked that question about the Bengals and Joe Burrow. Are we asking Joe Burrow to do too much? Is there too much on his plate? Lamar Jackson, are they asking too much of Lamar? Are we asking too much of Josh Allen? Patrick accounts for 76% of their offensive yards. That's the most by a wide margin of any quarterback in the NFL. And they're 6 and 7.
Yeah.
It's the very clear, hey, you go win the game for us. Go win the game for us. And I feel like for 2 years, we get done with the Chiefs game, and I hear them go, self-inflicted wounds. We just got to clean it up and we'll be fine. No, because your margin of error is not big enough anymore. And so there is a reality where, and it sucks, candidly, because many of us, like the last 10 years, have loved watching them in the playoffs because it's Patrick. They're not going to get in. And now it's, well, what does the future hold for a dynasty of Mahomes and Kelsey and Chris Jones and Spags? Because if you're going to retool and rebuild, you gotta retool and rebuild with different humans.
When you have Patrick Mahomes, you still can have a dynasty. It will just be a different iteration of that dynasty. It will be different players. This is a team that used to routinely win all the close one-score games, and this is a team that now doesn't win routinely the close one-score games. I want to point out that there has not been a different champion in the AFC West since 2015. That streak is over. There'll be a new AFC West champion this year. The Broncos, probably, maybe the Chargers, and who would have thought this? That as of this morning, right now, the Kansas City Chiefs have the same record today as the Miami Dolphins.
Miami's been
the surging Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, they're surging, and the Chiefs, the earliest that Patrick Mahomes, since he became the starter, has ever been eliminated from the playoffs has been overtime of the AFC Championship game.